So in this video, what I want to do is that I want to give you one key to happiness. And there are many different keys to happiness. And as many of you know, if you've seen my programs or my videos, is that I've dedicated over 10 years in the field of psychology, specifically the field of positive psychology, and truly understanding what creates happiness in our lives. But if I told you everything that creates happiness just within this video, we'd have a 2-hour workshop. And we don't really want to do that right now because I just want to focus on one thing that I feel is very important to your true success and to you finding inner happiness. And that is learning how to say no. Not just learning how to say no, learning how to be authentically you. Not just for your own happiness, for your own success. You know, imagine this. You grow up, and as you're developing, statistically, you hear 30 negatives for each positive in your life. So people are constantly telling you to change. People are constantly saying, don't do this instead. Don't do this instead. Then you go to school and you develop yourself, and they're telling you this is what you need to do. You need to sit down, you need to probably shut up and listen to this information and make sure that you can say it again verbatim for the test. Then you go to college, then you go to whatever you do, your job, whatever it is, and then you're constantly told there. By media, since you're a little kid, they spend billions and billions of dollars to try to get you to have a perspective of what women are, what men are. In fact, I'll give you a quick story about being authentic and the influence that media can have. Because we live in a society that's called the big lie, where we're told by ourselves internally that the exterior doesn't influence us. For example, there was one study that was done where they were trying to get women to start smoking. The cigarette companies were saying, well, we're missing half of our market. So how can we get that market? So, you know, Freudian's cousin, Edward Bernays, said, well, during the Thanksgiving parade, we can have women lift up their skirts, take out a cigarette, and start smoking and start screaming, torches of freedom. And what did that do in our society? All of a sudden, women associated that with equal rights. Women associated smoking with saying that I have the same power that a man does. I have the same right. I have the same capabilities. And for a long time, you would see women smoking all over the place. And that quickly, they were able to shift the mind state to telling women what defined them. Whether it's what you dress, what you eat, we're constantly being told. But what happens when you stop learning how to say no? What happens when you say, no, I'm going to be authentically me and I'm going to stand up for this because I think that's right. Or I'm not going to eat that, or I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to watch this movie because it's trendy. I'm not going to sit there and watch this show so I can talk about it at work. I'm not going to sit there and live a life that's not really what I want to do. I want to be an artist. I want to play my guitar. I want to make people happy through music, but yet I'm an accountant because that's what my parents wanted me to be. That's what society told me I should be because it's more functional. Because you can't really make money as a musician, can you? Well, let me tell you, I know a lot of people that make money as a musician. And that's just one example. What happens is that we don't recognize what happens if Einstein, if even Edward Bernays that changed public relations. What happened if Edison? What happened if Tesla didn't follow their own unique identity and said, I don't give a shit what the world thinks. This is what I feel like doing. This is what I feel is my contribution. This is what empowers me, where I feel like I can wake up in the morning and spend, wake up at 5 and go to sleep at 2 in the morning and still feel so empowered and so energized with what I'm doing. I don't want to stop. And that's exactly what the world needs from you. If you talk about creating a better world, if you talk about changing and shifting things, it starts with one individual, and that individual is you. That individual is having happiness. That individual is seeing that they're doing what they're meant to be doing. And some people look at that and they think this is a big pipe dream, that it's impossible to do it. Just like I was told that it's impossible for me to go to college because I wasn't smart enough, and yet here I am pretty much with a PhD in psychology. It's not impossible. It's finding what your niche is, finding what you stand for, telling yourself, this is what I stand for. This is what I stand for in relationships. I'm breaking old patterns. This is what my non-negotiables, where I have a relationship and I say, these are my non-negotiables in my relationship. If the other person does not fit these non-negotiables, then it's not meant to be. Why are you going to settle in life? Whether it's your career, whether it's your relationship, whether it's what you do as a hobby, whether it's family or friends telling you what to do, be that example. Embrace, stand up. Because as you stand up, you teach other people that it's okay. It's okay to be you. And people might mock you at first. People might say, what are you doing, Joel? A lot of people told me that. I used to tell them, hey, I'm going to be a doctor. They used to say, oh, yeah, sure, Joel. You failed college. Sure, you're going to be a doctor. Some people used to tell me that I would just end up in jail. And part of me thought I might just end up in jail one day. But realistically, I stood up for what I found purpose, which was studying people, studying psychology, studying human potential. That empowered me. And once I found that, I would do whatever it took to be able to be there. It wasn't about getting A's. It was about learning the information because I really loved it. So when I'm talking about being authentically you, stand up. Write down, what do you stand for? Put it down on a piece of paper. What are your non-negotiables again in life? What is your ideal life? And you might tell me, well, I'm passionate about this, but I'm just not motivated. Well, if you're not motivated, then dream bigger. Because if your motivations and what you're doing actually do not drive you, then maybe you're not dreaming big enough. Maybe you need to open up your reality to think that it can be even bigger than that. And what happens is that all you got to do is plant the seeds. And as you plant the seeds of being authentically you, something crazy happens. Things are attracted to you. People are attracted to you that make you create that situation. Because people feel passion. People are driven by emotion. So if you're passionate about what you're doing, you're passionate about the life that you're living, that's what's going to make you successful. That's what's going to make you happy. And in fact, there was a big study that's done with heart attacks, for example. What is the cause of people dying of heart attacks under the age of 50? And they checked if it was cholesterol, eating habits, smoking habits, drinking habits. And what they found across the board, none of those were the main contributing factor. The main contributing factor was the satisfaction with their work and life. Think about that for a second. The satisfaction with your work and life. That means that you're better off getting drunk every night and eating wings and eating whatever junk you want, as long as you're satisfied with your life. Because it actually makes a bigger difference. And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying go out there and get drunk every night. What I'm saying is that if you're going to pick a poison, let your poison not be that you're willing to settle in life, that you're willing to give up your dreams, that you're willing to give up your passion, that you're willing to act and pretend to be something that you're not. Because as soon as you can embrace who you truly are, that is when the magic happens. That is when potential happens. That is when people around you, your family and friends, start making different decisions. They start accepting you for who you are, and they start reflecting on who they are to make those necessary changes. Like I said before, the world needs you because you can make a bigger impact and leave a bigger legacy by doing something very simple, which is standing for yourself, being authentically you, not letting anyone or anything change what you stand for. Again, I wish you much success in everything that you do. It's been a pleasure creating this for you. I hope it plants some seeds in your mind, and I hope that you can stand for who you are, and I hope to serve you at some other point. Thank you.